Hello family, I am making my first YouTube video. For those who aren't following me on social media, I am an artist. I believe in radical honesty and I practice that on my social media. I'm a lot of things. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor, but I think that the most important thing that I'm here to do is teach and be taught. That's, my whole purpose on this earth is to learn and keep everybody else learned up too. So, since this is my first video, I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it, but right now I was just looking through my journal and I found a little piece that I think is really important and I think has a lot of lessons in it. So I'm gonna share the story behind it and then read you the little thing that I had written. So I was in Hilo when I was in Hawaii on vacation. Or not on vacation, I guess. When I was in Hilo learning some really important lessons in my life, I had painted a festival on Puna side of Big Island and was staying in Hilo, and one day my phone died and wasn't working. My credit card stopped working. I didn't have a place to stay. I was just kind of a mess. My anxiety was kicking in. I wanted to hang out with these people that I knew and just wasn't working out, and I couldn't figure out how my life was working. My anxiety was going crazy and I was like going full panic attack, and I stumbled into this little like tea lounge, this super sweet tea lounge, and had some tea, took some deep breaths, and got to reflect on all of the thoughts that I was feeling and the lessons that were coming through. So I just, started writing. So I'm not going to read you the whole thing because it's long, but what I have written that I'd like to share is presence and patience, breathe, sit with the hurt, be with the confusion, feel the joy, and appreciate the abundance. And so I'd like to share what those things mean to me and what those lessons are. So let's kind of break it down. Presence and patience. To me, presence and patience is key with everything that I struggle with those things. I need to be present with myself and with the person that I'm around or the people that I'm surrounded by, because when I start to get in that cycle of in the cycle of like planning, things falling apart, me having anxiety attack, planning, things falling apart, me having an anxiety attack, in that circle, being able to sit present with myself and recognize what I'm doing and being patient with myself also, in the sense that I don't need to be healed right now. I don't need to have this figured out 100%, but if I can be present with myself and patient with myself and allow these lessons to come, then it'll all work out in the end. Breathing is the second part is breathing. It's a huge part of in the moment anxiety relief. Taking 10 deep breaths and calming everything that's happening. Your heart's beating really fast, you're hyperventilating, it feels like you're losing control. And if you can even just split second thought of, okay, I need to breathe. 1, 2, 10 deep breaths. Another really good trick for me when I have anxiety attacks is that I count backwards from 100 by 7. So I'll do 100, 93, and then keep going down until my breath is calm again. Sit with the hurt. So I feel like a really big issue when we feel pain is that we want to escape it naturally. We don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be sad. But in order to learn the lessons that we need to learn and to be taught what we need to be taught, it's important to sit with your hurt and feel the pain and recognize where the pain is coming from and allow the pain and then dismiss it when it no longer serves us. But our pain really does serve us, and there's a lot of opportunities for our pain to serve us. And for example, feeling that frustration of all my plans falling through and feeling sad because I don't feel wanted and blah, 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 feeling all of that, and then separating it a little bit and then being able to reflect and say, okay, where is that coming from and how can I learn from this hurt? And for me, a lot of the learning from that specific instance was, you know, I don't need to be so attached to these ideas. Everything is going to work out. I'm exactly where I need to be. I am in the moment exactly where I need to be because my path is divine and I'm following and doing exactly what I need to be doing to learn what I need to learn and be who I need to be. So be with the confusion. This is kind of a funny one to me because I hate being confused. I pride myself on being a smart person, and confusion is not a feeling that I like to feel. And so reading this, I kind of had to chuckle and be like, yeah, you're right, Lala. Pass, Lala. Good call. Be with the confusion. I really don't have anything to say. You're allowed to feel confused. You're a human. You don't have to have everything figured out, and allowing yourself to feel those things and knowing that you're human and that you really genuinely don't have to have everything figured out is so powerful. It's like, oh yeah, I'm not the center of the universe and I'm here to serve my purpose, and right now my purpose is to be confused and learn the lessons, and that's all I need to do. Feel the joy. They're all kind of, you know, tied in. So joy is like happiness, love, acceptance, all of the good feelings you can possibly feel get so easily blocked out when you're going through a hard time, when you're having the anxiety attack, when you're feeling really depressed or down or somebody hurts your feelings. And feeling all that joy and happiness is such a struggle when you're feeling those things. And even the little things like seeing a dog on the street, or, you know, making food that's delicious, or seeing like such simple things can bring you joy without even noticing. Simple pleasures. Allow yourself to feel those things, and that doesn't mean you have to be happy and perfect and, you know, you'll see a flower and feel fantastic, but remembering that there's other emotions than the pain and the hurt and the suffering and the confusion and the anxiety is also really important in those times. There's duality in it, you know. There's good and bad to everything, and if you can recognize both and sit with both and feel both, then, you know, I think you're gonna be pretty okay. So lastly, we have what did I say? I think appreciate the abundance. This one is like a massive thing and it probably deserves its own video, but I'll try to summarize how I feel about this. We are eternally provided for. Everything we need on our journey is here for us. We have, you know, food and water, and like, to be clear, like, we have trees that literally just grow nutrients for our body. We have grass that does the same. You know, it's just so amazing and insane how, like, immensely provided for we are. Everything we could ever need, we have. And if we don't have it, that means we don't need it. We don't need all this, like, extra money or all these fancy clothes. You know, if we really don't need it, we won't have it, because that's just how life goes. And it was just such a awesome realization when that came through. It was just like, oh, I get it. I don't need to be attached to all of this extra shit. I really don't. I don't at all. I don't need to be attached to all this money, and I don't need to be attached to my phone or my computer. And yeah, it would suck and be inconvenient if I didn't have those things, so I'm grateful for them. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for them, but I don't need them because that's not how I function. I'm so on my journey and so on my path, and I just want to appreciate what I have and not give thought necessarily to what I don't have, because I don't need it. And so that's what that was. And those are just some quick lessons. I think this is probably how I'll do it, is just reading from my, like, snippets from my journal and then sharing them with you guys. So yeah, I hope that this resonated with some people, and I'm sure that they're gonna get better over time. This is my first video and I'm a little unsure of how to do these, so just bear with me. They'll get better soon, and yeah.